Week 11 SFL action continues this evening here in Indianapolis as the Ramblers play host to the Fort Worth Toros. Good evening, everybody. I am Mike Daggs, and with me at the booth is Gerald Smith. With us tonight on stats, Ron Haynes and Eddie Gage. You are watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Gerald, how you doing tonight?
Feeling great. Got a nice steak, little quick dinner on the Concord jet supplied by Mr. Cameron Irvine. It was quite delicious.
The fuel bill of that thing is intense, but Cam
worth it.
Literally sleeps on a bed made out of stacks of $100 bills, so all he's got to do is just shave some right off of his pillow and pay for that fuel bill.
I hear he has the one and only money tree in the world.
Yeah.
Just go outside and picks it right off.
It's a magical tree. Hey, we got a football game tonight, Gerald. We got the Indianapolis Ramblers. We've got the Fort Worth Toros. Both of these teams in their divisions fighting to try to get a division lead. Fort Worth actually leading the South right now, I should say, but barely. They're 6-3. They've got Houston at 5-4 and Alamo City at 5-4, hot on their heels. Mexico City 4-5 behind them by only a couple of games. Even the Revs still at 3-5. Have a chance to get a winning record and could potentially overtake Fort Worth if all things went their way. Indianapolis, they're at 4-5, right in the middle of the Central Division, along with the 4-4 Tulsa Desperados, and now 5-5 Arizona Scorpions. Either of these divisions could go any which way, and one of these teams is going to get another win tonight, another one's going to get a loss.
Right. So, and look, and my interest is right here, which is the number 3 scoring offense in the Fort Worth Toros versus the number 2 scoring defense in the Indianapolis Ramblers. So that's going to be a really, really interesting thing to see and how that's actually going to shake out as the game progresses.
Well, how's this one going to work out? As Matt Wilson would say, there's only one way to find out, and that's on the field. Go down to the field, get this one started as Indianapolis starts off with the ball on offense. Joel Harleman with the first carry of the ball game. As we roll through the starting offense, Colin Pierce is the quarterback. Tino Sosa and Christian Pierce are the halfbacks. Joel Harleman's the fullback. Rob Hunt, Devin Lloyd, Ryan Roosevelt, and Jeff Banfield are the receivers. Randy Pierce and Jimmy Wint are the tight ends. Speaking of Randy Pierce, gets the completion, gets the first down. An early first down for the Ramblers.
Yeah, and they actually start off right here on the first pass. Pierce to Pierce. Quarterback Colin Pierce to Randy Pierce. And then there's another Pierce in the backfield that they're going to be handing the ball to as the game progresses. But what a way to just dump it out and be able to get it quick. It looked like Fort Worth brought some pressure to that, and Colin Pierce will be able to get it out quick enough and get it over to Randy Pierce for him to pick up first down.
This Fort Worth defense is a legit defense in this league. Jeff Duffy, Jerry D. Gond, Luther Gond, and John Neville's on the defensive line. E.K. Vincent, Scunny Sky, and J.L. Browning are the linebackers. Back-to-back throws. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. 2 plays in a row. Why not? Randy Pierce with another first down reception.
Yeah, and they're starting out like looking really good right now, right? Crossing the tight end with the wide receiver there and kind of, trying to let the defenders pick one another to create some space. And now they're right at midfield just about.
The corners are Tavius Gordon, Adam Leach, Remington James, and Aiden Davis. Free safety Ben Stone, strong safety Delaney Nash. Last season's MVP. Ball is handed off to Christian Pierce as he'll gain 3. Second down and 7. For the Ramblers, Christian Pierce has among the most carries in the league this season, Gerald. 150 rushes now on the season, but only 402 yards coming into today's game, 25th in the league. So just really not able to get really big chunk runs. As this one goes to Tino Sosa, picks up 4.
Yeah, and collectively, they're actually averaging under 3 yards per carry through across, like their 2 halfbacks and their fullback. So, it's going to be something interesting to see because of, I believe we even broke it down on, yesterday saying that how, look, hey, they're going to have to get a run game going to hopefully get that passing attack back because a lot of teams are just going to try and put pressure on them and force them into mistakes.
First third down of the ball game. Handoff And comes just up short. Christian Pierce, like I said, he's averaging 2.7 yards per carry on the season. Picked up about 2.7 on that one. Brings up a 4th in inches.
Right, and I think I'd go for this right now. And J.L. Browning.
So do they.
And J.L. Browning right on the edge on that one actually spooked him into kind of getting, a little bit out of sorts. But I like this call by Indy early on.
Offense still on the field. Bottled up in the backfield. And he gets crushed. Sunny Sky, she gets the tackle for a loss, and it's a quick turnover on downs. Fort Worth takes over.
And you know who started that was J.L. Browning on the edge. The way he went in there and forced him to go a little bit out. He kind of clogged up a hole right there, and Sunny Sky is able to kind of come in there and knock him down. What a great play set up by Browning and finished by Sky.
So 1st down and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Fort Worth gets their first crack at it on offense. Marcus Dunhill's going to hand it off to the red-hot J.Z. Bacon, who gets tackled for a loss on his first carry of the ball game. Rick Evans knocking him down in the backfield.
Yeah, and that's something that they're going to have to, this Indy defense is actually a lot stronger than what some people may think, right? Them being at 4 and 5 is not because of their defense, it's because of their offensive struggles. This is the strength of this football team right here is their defense.
Marcus Dunhill throws tipped in the air and incomplete. Pressure got there quickly. As it's a quick 3rd and 11. Let's roll through the Fort Worth offense. Marcus Dunhill is the quarterback. Charlie Baker and J.Z. Bacon are the halfbacks. Aaron Alexander is the fullback. Cade Stevens, E.J. Minson, Stephen Hacker, and Lili Nakai are the wide receivers. The Cowboy, Robert Garrett Jr. and James Jennings are the tight ends. Emilio Panda, Gordo Enorme, and Frank Burks are the left tackle and the 2 guards. Big 3rd down coming up for the Toros. Play action. Dunhill rolls out left. We've seen him run a lot, but he throws back to the right, and it's incomplete. Batted away by Mike Ryan. And Indianapolis does what they need to do. Gerald, not only do they prevent any scoring, but so far Fort Worth's offensive output -1 yard.
Right, and that's what it was right there. I liked how they blitzed some people right there on defense right there and forced that throw. And the defenders on the back end were blanketing the receivers there.
Kick taken up to the 28-yard line. And Colin Pierce will come back out onto the field to get his second drive going. 2 of 2 on his opening possession. Gerald, they lost by 3 points to Vancouver last week after coming off a 5-point win against Tulsa the week before. They've had 4 games this season that have been 1-score games. They won 2, they lost 2. They've been in some tight matchups and just looking to close them out with wins. So they are trying to get to 500 tonight. Pass over the middle, and Ryan Roosevelt off to the races, crossing the 20. Can he get there inside the 10 and tackled at the 6-yard line? Ryan Roosevelt sets Indianapolis up with a first down and goal after a huge catch.
And we talked about them getting that passing game going. What do? They come out on first down and just pull out 2 wide receivers and send Ryan Roosevelt on a seam route, and they throw a very good pass, very good catch by Ryan Roosevelt, and he gets dragged down at the 5-yard line. Now they're looking in prime position to be able to put points on the board early after getting a 3-and-out stop.
Adam Leach with a touchdown-saving tackle, the 7th-season player, 4-time All-Star, getting the tackle, a 66-yard reception by Ryan Roosevelt. Ball is handed off, running towards the end zone, gets about half of it is Tino Sosa. Second down and goal.
Yeah, and Ryan Roosevelt, he's top 10 in receiving statistics across the board this season, so he's definitely one of their playmakers, but they're going to have to finish it off right here. And that run game that they have, they're going to have to kind of push through right here.
Ball is handed off to the fullback, J.P. Comella. Is stopped. E.K. Vinson with the tackle. Third down and goal from the 1. They come out in an offset I formation, single receiver up to the top. 5 on the line for Fort Worth.
Very good block. Did you see that?
Christian Pierce saw it, found the hole, and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Ramblers.
I didn't catch the number, but right on the edge, what does the offensive player do? They actually cut a guy down at his legs and actually allows the defender to fall to the ground, create some room for Pierce to be able to get it in right there. Bam. They actually cut down Luther Gond right there on the edge. They would jump right over him and get in. Very good play.
That was tight end.
Yeah,
tight end Randy Pierce with that block. And, that really opened that running lane up. Randy Pierce, he's made a few good plays already tonight, Gerald. 4th season with the Ramblers, 7th season in the league, 6'5" tight end. He's had a couple of catches on the opening drive, and on the second drive, a key block to spring Christian Pierce free for a touchdown.
Just paving the way for family.
That's what family does, man. 6th touchdown on the season for Christian Pierce, and Indianapolis out to an early lead in this one.
And that's the hot start that they needed on offense right here in Indy, right? They got a lead, and now their defense can actually do what their defense does.
Flag on the return will back Fort Worth up a little bit. See the call from the ref and where they spot this ball. There's going to be an illegal block in the back, clipping call. It'll back Fort Worth up to their own 15-yard line. And that is where the Toros will start off their second drive as we get a look at the penalty on their opening drive. Gerald, -1 yards of offensive production.
Yeah, and that's not something you typically see from Fort Worth, especially the way that they've been playing late, especially the points they put up last week. So, they had a lot of offensive production last week. So we're going to see. But they're playing one of the, like I said, they are playing one of the best defenses in the league right here. They surrendered their second fewest points in the league. So, so we're going to see how they're going to be able to, do against it this week, because both these teams kind of need wins.
Bacon gets the yard back that they lost in their opening drive, plus another one. So +1 yard of offensive production. Now 2nd down and 8. Fort Worth with a 40-14 win over the Charleston Predators in Week 10. A 26-point victory. In that game, Marcus Dunhill, 15 of 23, 246 yards. Gerald, 4 touchdowns and no picks. Goes to the sky in this one as well, as it connects with his target, Stephen Hacker, over the middle. Hacker last week, a big target. He got 7 catches, 139 yards, and 3 of those 4 touchdowns all went to Stephen Hacker.
Yeah, and he's actually top 5 in all receiving statistical categories and leading the league in touchdowns with 10 right now. So, he's a guy that when you throw the ball to, he's able to catch it and everything else, and he's just, right under 1,000 yards right now coming into this week with 933 yards and averaging over 16 yards per reception.
1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Ball is handed off to Bacon. Hit in the backfield, breaks through the first tackle, is able to gain 2 on the play before Ernest McCray Sr. brings him down. 2nd down and 8.
And you see, and this is something that you're going to see all throughout the game with how aggressive Indianapolis plays the line and how many people that they send, because they actually apply a lot of pressure and get a lot of sacks and a lot of tackles for losses. So their linebackers and safeties and such are going to play a lot at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, well, they're also going to be playing in the backfield as Christian Pierce gets tackled. Charlie Baker gets tackled for a loss on the play. A loss of 3 as Kenneth Gatson Jr. gets the TFL. 4 receivers set on 3rd down.
Yeah, and this is where they like to eat on defense right here.
Dunhill, 5-step drop under pressure, throws downfield, and pressure was able to interfere with that throw, Gerald.
It sure was. It was a delayed blitz by Mike Ryan coming from the safety position, kind of lining up right there, having a delayed blitz, getting in there with his speed and getting right in Dunhill's face and forcing a bad throw.
4th down and 11. Much like their opening possession. And the Toros will have to punt this one away. Ball drops down at the 19-yard line, returned up to the 27, and that is where Colin Pierce will return to the field on offense for their next possession. 3 of 3 so far on the day. Rushing game really not much of a factor yet. Obviously, Christian Pierce does have that rushing touchdown, but 3 rushing attempts for 6 yards for both Pierce and Sosa. Not a lot of offensive production by either team quite yet, but Indy with the lead.
Like knowing Indy right in any pass, I mean, where they like to make their money is through the air. So, you know, we're going to see. I mean, they got to get the run game going, right, to be able to open up the pass, in my opinion, at least on a consistent basis. So we're going to see how they're going to progress forward with the game plan today.
That run goes nowhere as J.L. Browning gets the tackle at the line. Second down and 10. Indianapolis losing last week to Vancouver, 27-24, a close ball game. Christian Pierce, 19 rushing attempts, 77 yards. Pair of touchdowns in that one. Pass over the middle is incomplete. Tried to get it back to Roosevelt. Third down and 10.
These are situations that Indy doesn't want theirself in, right, offensively, right, is in these third and longs, right? I think they're going to fare a lot better if they get themselves in a third and medium, right? You know, ideally you want third and short, but I think these third and mediums, given their struggles on offense, could help them and diversify their actually play calling on third down.
4 receivers set on third down. Pierce rolls out right, throws over the middle, overthrows his target, and a quick 3 and out for the Ramblers. Fort Worth waiting on getting the ball back. Philip DeField on to punt, the rookie punter for the Ramblers.
See, one thing I think Indy's going to struggle with, too, like today, is just their ability to run. They struggle with the run anyway, just all season they have. And Fort Worth has the number 2 rush defense in the league right now. So, I mean, they're going to have to do it through the air. I'm not saying abandon the run, but they're going to have to try and do it through the air because their struggles in the run game on offense, you know, for Indianapolis versus the Fort Worth rush defense. I think it's not quite a recipe for success, but they're going to have to be really selective. And they do have Indy does, a quarterback that makes the least amount of mistakes in the passing game, has one of the fewest interception rates, you know, in the league right now. So I think they could be in pretty good situation.
On the other side of the field, Marcus Dunhill, 1 of 4. Will throw his 5th pass attempt tonight. Connects that one to Stephen Hacker. And Hack is gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Fort Worth, and just like that, they're right back in it.
And that's just what you could not give up right there. They forced a 3 and out. Fort Worth did just like Indy forced a 3 and out, and then guess what happens? Indy scores quick. Fort Worth comes back and does the exact same thing, throws it to their stud wide receiver on a 60-yard pass. And now they're about to tie it back up. Stephen Hacker with his league-leading 11th touchdown reception on the season, and that very likely gets him over 1,000 yards on the season with that catch right there.
Yeah, absolutely. A 59-yard reception officially, now 77 yards on the day. Came into today's game with 933 yards, Gerald. So, yeah, that definitely puts him over 1,000. He's got 1,010 now. If the maths is mathin'.
If the maths are mathin'.
1,010 yards or 3,030 feet.
No, that's why Stephen Hacker's doing it. He said chicks dig the long ball.
All right, well, if chicks dig it, then
sounds like he's getting married soon.
And there you go. So Indianapolis will take over at their own 10-yard line. 10-yard line. 20-yard line.
Wow.
It's 1st and 10 from the 20.
1st and 20 from the 10. Maybe that's what you're looking for.
Will be if there's a holding play. Roosevelt in motion down to the bottom. Colin Pierce now 3 of 5. And pressure coming and got there. Sacked. John Nevels with the 4-yard sack.
Fort Worth brought everybody and their mama in on that one, and there were some people that didn't know who they needed to block, and assignments were missed, resulting in a 4-yard loss. That was so fast.
It was, yeah. Oh, untouched to get back there. 3 receivers, a tight end, and a running back on the field now for Indianapolis. Matt Wilson's favorite formation. Pierce to throw, looking for a target. Can't find anybody. Tries to take off and is brought down right back at the line of scrimmage. Well read by J.L. Browning. Was not going to let Pierce run with it.
Yeah, J.L. Browning is actually having an all-star season thus far, and he's already kind of shown, on the first couple of drives by Indy, like how much of a force he's going to be. And he does so right there, but, stopping on me, I guess you might be able to call it a sack. It's no gain.
They're actually crediting that as a TFL, officially, a very short tackle for a loss. Still 3rd down and 14. Goes up top.
Wide
open. Jeff Banfield just standing there waiting for the pass to make its way over to him. And Indianapolis able to convert on a huge 3rd and long.
Yeah, Jeff Banfield is not a scrub by any means, but how do you let him get wide open and have 5+ yards of space between him and a defender right there? The former Mr. Irrelevant in the draft from about 7 seasons ago comes up with a huge catch on 3rd down.
Pierce to throw on 1st down, connects with Ryan Roosevelt, and they'll move into Fort Worth territory. 1st down and 10 now for the Ramblers.
And like I said, this is where they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to do it in the passing game, and it seems like they're actually kind of, using that there, especially when you have a quarterback like Colin Pierce, who is, has been fairly mistake-free throughout the season thus far.
Second reception for Roosevelt, 132 yards now for Colin Pierce. First down and 10 from the Fort Worth 45. 5-yard drop for Pierce, under pressure again, going to try to take off, and sacked. Brought down once again, this time getting back there, Jerry D. Gond, the 5-season vet.
Yeah, Jerry D. actually coming through and getting another sack on the season for his team, leading 5.5 sack on the season for this team. So he's leading the team with 5.5.
I always find it interesting that statisticians hand out half sacks. Because I picture like the quarterback going halfway to the ground and then just kind of like stopping. I didn't quite get a sack, but kind of maybe. Anyway, Pierce going to try to take off again. And once again, 3rd time on this drive, Gerald tries to take off with it and can't go anywhere. That's another TFL. This time Luther Gond getting it.
Luther Gond coming through. Former Louisiana player, was drafted at Louisiana and earned a whole bunch of stripes and accolades and all-star stuff with us. And now moving on to Fort Worth, getting his fair share of a sack as well.
1 quarter down, 3 quarters to go. Tie ball game, 7 apiece. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on YouTube. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith. Gerald, we've got Ron Haynes and Eddie Gage on stats tonight.
A couple of legendary guys.
Heck yeah, man.
2 completely different reasons.
Absolutely. Colin Pierce on 3rd and 14.
Whoa.
Gets that one tipped away. Aiden Davis jumping in the path of the ball. 4th down. Drive comes to a halt.
Yeah, the 9th-year corner coming off his first all-star season last season, coming away with a very good pass defense there to force the punt.
Philip DeField punting this one away, trying to pin Fort Worth back deep. Ball taken at the 10, returned up to the 15-yard line. As we get our first look tonight at team stats comparison, and currently nothing in the rushing game for Fort Worth after J.Z. Bacon was able to put up 150 yards last week in their win over Charleston.
Yeah, we didn't need him. You just throw it to Stephen Hacker, the man who has an awesome mustache and no gloves.
Who needs gloves when you have a mustache like that?
I think it packs superpowers or something.
Absolutely. The gloveless wonder wishes he had gloves on that one. Little finger tape didn't quite get it done. Second down.
I don't think he's worried too much.
He's still got the mustache.
But he's like, I got 1,000 yards on the season, 11 touchdowns.
Baby.
I know how to make plays. Don't doubt me.
3,030 feet on the season.
Right.
It's true.
It's yards.
No, 1,010 yards.
Yeah, I know.
How many inches is that?
Oh,
a lot.
Good God, that's a lot. A buku.
2 receivers
per foot.
Yeah. From the 15-yard line, throwing a short one over the middle. Pass is complete to E.J. Minson. 3rd down and 7.
What? Even though they scored pretty quick, I feel like there was like really big, huge plays that were scored, right? In the passing game. I feel like these two teams are going to be punching each other in the face all game long.
4 receiver set on 3rd down. Blitz coming from Indy, almost getting there.
What a
And
catch.
the pass is caught. Oh, pass caught in traffic by Cade Stevens. We'll call that the nice hands catch. Brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in an SFL 4K23. Great catch in traffic. I thought that one was going to get batted away, but somehow Stevens comes down with it.
Yeah, he comes away with it for his 15th catch of the season, and it's a big one right there to kind of pick up the 7+ yards they needed for the first down.
Handoff to Charlie Baker. That one goes for -1. Rushing game still not really getting anything going yet for Fort Worth.
Oh, they're I think they got the 0 mark right now. I think maybe with that last run, maybe they're starting to get the more on the positive side of things. No, it's a loss.
Yeah, they got -1 on the day now. Trying to fix that is J.C. Bacon as he gets them in plus territory by 2. 3rd down and 8.
Well, another 3rd and long. We're going to see what they're going to pull out right here. I'd say, look, and you have a lot of guys to watch because you got the Cowboy and Robert Garrett Jr. You got Stephen Hacker. You got E.J. Minson that come over in free agency, and then just Cade Stevens popped his head in there too on that last 3rd down. So Indianapolis has a lot of quality players to keep their eye on.
Hacker in the slot up top. Dunhill rolls out to the bottom, throws to the bottom, and another jumping catch. E.J. Minson
he stepped out.
He's still in. The whistle was blown, though. That's bizarre. He could still be running.
He could still be running. They blew it dead, and he didn't keep on running. But what a catch from him. He goes up and actually mosses the defender right here and actually catches it over him, and then I guess phantomly steps out of bounds.
Maybe by a toenail. I don't know.
Yeah, we just watched it on a second monitor here, and I didn't see anything step out. I think they saw the dirt come up from whenever he was making the spin move and kicked it up and went out of bounds. And wow.
1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Dunhill checks it down to Bacon. Bacon getting past the line of scrimmage and more. Gains 6 up the right side. 2nd down and 4 is Fort Worth inching closer to taking their first lead of the ball game.
Yeah, and J.T. Bacon coming out of the backfield, right, with how aggressive Indianapolis. We know Indianapolis is going to be aggressive on the line, and if they can do similar stuff like that, toss it out to J.T. Bacon, especially when the linebackers are blitzing like that, I think that could be open all day.
Charlie Baker gets the 1st down for the Toros as we hit the 7-minute mark in quarter number 2. If you are new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL, both on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Another TFL as Adam Wiseman gets into the backfield. Starting defense for the Ramblers, Chad Rowland, Mac Dre, Robert Cherry, and Derek Jenko are the defensive linemen. Adam Wiseman, Kenneth Gatson Jr., and Thomas Matthews, along with Telemac Scarborough, are the linebackers. Ernest McRae Sr., Jermaine Menafield, the former Aztec, Rick Evans, Mike Ryan, Jack Russell, Melodious Manning. That is your secondary here for Indianapolis. Dunhill to throw over the middle. That was caught by E.J. Minson. 3rd down and inches.
Yeah, and it makes it really, really manageable right here for them as they start inching closer to the 10-yard line, right inside the 15. Look, and this is wide open for them, right? Like, look, and you can see right here, Indianapolis is expecting a run.
The 11th play of the drive goes for a first down, barely. That 3rd and inches. When all you need is an inch. Sometimes it's an easy play to pick up. Fresh set of downs now from the 13-yard line.
Gotta get down here with passes. They start to run, and it kind of starts to slow down a tad bit.
Hacker in motion up to the top. I formation in the backfield. 3 receiver set. Ball's handed off to Bacon. They'll say Bacon got back to the line. I'll say TFL. Kenneth Gatson Jr. getting him for a short loss.
There it is, 2nd and 10. I mean, I don't know. I'd hate to say what I think they would do because I have no idea what they're going to do right here.
Officially a 2-inch loss from our stat truck. Dunhill under pressure and sacked. Robert Cherry gets into the backfield, and that's more than 2 inches. That's 2 whole yards. That's 6 whole feet.
6 whole feet?
That's more than your height.
It sure is. What's 6 feet? 72 inches backwards. If the math is mathing.
I think it is mathing. 3rd down and 12 from the 15.
Wow. This is where each team has done their damage, not in the run game, but in the pass game.
They sure have.
I just feel like this has all kinds of playoff atmosphere happening.
It right sure now. Does. Like we said, 2 hotly contested divisions. These teams both desperate for wins to keep going in them. Oh, wow. Oh, touchdown, Toros. Cade Stevens climbs the ladder, and there's an injury on the play. Mike Ryan is down in the end zone.
Oh, that is not good, but let's give credit to Cade Stevens right here for going up and grabbing his 16th catch of the season, his first touchdown of the season, to put his team up by 6.
We'll keep an eye out for Mike Ryan to see if he comes back into this one. Cade Stevens, 2 huge catches on the day. Gerald had one earlier on where he caught it in traffic. I didn't think he stood a chance of catching it. This time he jumps right over the defender's head, catches the ball, gets it into the end zone for a touchdown. 14 plays, 85 yards, aghast Indianapolis defense, and Fort Worth takes the lead 14-7.
Both of Cade Stevens' catches were on 3rd downs on that drive.
Kick drops down at the 4-yard line and returned up the left-hand side, breaking tackles, getting all kinds of yards, crossing the 40 and getting out of bounds at the 48-yard line. A great play to set Indianapolis up. Devin Lloyd getting the return for the Ramblers. Meanwhile, we've got a game break update. Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios.
Thanks, Mike. 2 games crucial to the playoff picture and to the divisional picture in the South. Alamo City at Tulsa tonight. And the Desperados are on top first with a 1-yard Phoenix Jones touchdown. 7-0. Back to you.
Phoenix Jones getting more involved, Gerald.
I did mention that on the show, but I picked a completely different team to win.
You sure did. I, on the other hand, did not.
Yes, so you say.
Indianapolis now looking up at that scoreboard and seeing themselves trailing. They scored first, but then 14 unanswered points from the Toros. 2nd down and 8 after that 3-yard pickup by Christian Pierce.
And they got themselves set up really good right where they're at, right? With that huge return right here, getting a couple yards on 1st down. So really good field position right now.
Pass down to the bottom once again, going to tight end Randy Pierce, as he'll pick up some yards. 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, and it sets it up in the third and medium right here. And this is, I think, the third downs that they typically want to get themselves in right here, which is a third and medium and not in a third and long, right, where actually, is allowing Fort Worth to apply too much pressure on the quarterback.
Pierce rolls out, and for, I think, the at least fourth or fifth time on the day, Gerald tries to scramble with it, and so far hasn't been able to make any of those work. Loses some yards on the play. Fourth down and 6 now. Another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, and Luther Gahn sitting there. He gets his sack and a half. He finally got that full sack on the day. But able to get him in there and actually force a punt after Indy actually got really good field position there.
Indianapolis turned it over on downs on their opening possession, Gerald.
Why would you catch it?
Because he's going to, I don't know.
Cade Stevens is feeling it.
Yeah, he's thinking, man, I'm just going to make big play after big play.
Why would you catch it at the 2-yard line? I don't understand. You let that go.
That's how he rolls.
Okay.
Indianapolis, after turning it over on downs, they were able to come back out, 4-play, 72-yard drive, getting into the end zone for a touchdown. Since then, they've had 3 drives in a row, all ending in punts, 2 of which were 3-and-outs. They're going to need to get something more going, and their defense is going to need to stop Fort Worth from scoring any more points. 3 minutes to go here in the first half. J.Z. Bacon runs right into a wall known as Kenneth Gatson Jr. and only gains a yard, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, what a way. I mean, it actually looked like he had some good blocks there, right? But the linebackers right there on the second level was able to get themselves free and actually stop Bacon for only a yard gain.
This one goes to Charlie Baker. Baker breaks through. Baker off to the races. Baker crosses midfield, being chased down from behind, and finally getting that tackle. Derek Jenko brings him down, but a huge run by Charlie Baker.
And there was so much happening right there. A lot of people had an opportunity to get him. Very good blocking. People missed tackles. Everybody got caught up in the junk, and then he was off to the races. And if only Steven the hacker could have been a little bit more aware and actually follow his guy down there, he might have been able to grab that guy and actually knock him out of the way and propel Charlie Baker for more yards and maybe even a touchdown. But that's a huge run to get themselves out of the shadow of their own goalpost and into Indianapolis territory.
42 yards for Charlie Baker all the way up to the Indianapolis 40. J.Z. Bacon trying to do the same. He'll only gain a few on the play. Another injury, though, Gerald. This time, Sean Worthen.
Wow, that's 2 defenders.
One of the backup defensive ends for Indianapolis had to come out onto the field after the defense was gassed from that Charlie Baker run and gets injured on his moment to shine.
Have we seen if Mike Ryan is back out on the field yet? I don't think I've actually seen him back on the field just yet.
Marcus Dunhill, quick pass, and that one's intercepted. Picked off by the legendary Ernest McCray Sr. Gets another interception.
As he heads to the sideline after making that pick to give his team the ball back, guess what? He's got himself a fried shrimp po' boy waiting on the sideline as he gets his team the ball back. What a good play. Jumps up right in the passing lane. He's ready to pull the ball down. Now his team has the ball back.
25th career interception for Ernest McCray Sr., his 5th on the season. Picking off more passes than a lot of people. He's 7th best in the league. Gets the team his ball back. The 42-yard run is the longest run by a Toro this season, and then came in the hands of Charlie Baker. But that drive came to a close with the Ernest McCray pick. A nice quick pass down the middle to Ryan Roosevelt. Gets some big chunk yardage inside this final 2 minutes of the first half for Indianapolis.
What a pass by Colin Pierce right here to Ryan Roosevelt. I swear, it's like why would you single cover Ryan Roosevelt? I don't know why you would do it, because he is a top target.
106 yards already on the day. Ball is handed off, getting stuffed in the backfield. Joel Harlman. The clock will continue to roll. Are you liking the game so far? Click that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There's nobody else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action, which is only 2 weeks away, and help the channel grow through your support. Jumping catch by Jeff Banfield, and Indianapolis will call their first timeout.
It's not that Indy is having the perfect play calls on this drive for their 2-minute drill. I like what they're doing right here. They're able to get themselves downfield after the interception and get themselves on the verge of getting into field goal range right here, right? Passing it to their top 2 guys right now in Banfield and Ryan Roosevelt.
First down and 10 from the 37. Pierce, quick pass up top to the other Pierce. 2-yard gain. Timeout called with 1:02 on the clock.
And J.L. Browning being right there, right as, very, very good linebacker play, right as Randy Pierce completes that ball. He's able to be right there and bring him to the ground. Minimal gain there. I think only got a couple yards.
Looked like it. From the 35 now. Banfield moves from one side to the other.
And Fort Worth's playing a zone.
Pierce to throw. Quick pass up top. Gets the catch. Ryan Roosevelt. And the final timeout called with 57 seconds to go.
And the reason why I mentioned that they were playing a zone, because what they did, they actually took their second best wide receiver, moved them over right there next to Ryan Roosevelt, so the defender had to make a decision who he's going to cover. And then playing a zone, there's going to be so many spots right there to find somebody open, and they did.
First down and 10 from the 24. Short pass to Christian Pierce. They'll have to go into the hurry up.
There's no panic here, right? They actually got a lot of time.
Oh, down to the bottom, picked off. Missed his target, and Adam Leach takes advantage. One good pick deserves another as Fort Worth returns the favor and takes back over possession of the football.
Man, that was a bad throw of bad throws. That wasn't even close. The guy kind of tried to fall down right there in Banfield, and that was yards off its mark. Banfield probably took a more inward route when he was supposed to go outward, more like a corner route. He ended up running a post, it seemed, and Colin Pierce threw to that spot, expected him to cut that way, and he cut the opposite way, and it turned into a pick.
First down and 10, 41 seconds, all 3 timeouts from the 18-yard line. I'd expect Fort Worth with the lead here in less than a minute to go, backed up this far, to rely on their running game and see if they can make anything happen. And the ball off to Bacon. He'll gain 3. We saw Charlie Baker on the last drive pick up a 42-yard rush, the longest by any Toro so far this season. And Gerald, looks like they might be content to hand it off one more time and see what happens.
Yeah, it actually looks like it. My question is, why even put the play clock up when the game clock is actually running seconds lower than the actual play clock?
Charlie Baker trying to repeat. Gets tackled after a gain of 6.
Don't ask me why that's bugging me. It just is.
Well, it's the weird little things in life that bug you. There's things that really shouldn't bother a man, and yet they do.
Very accurate.
Halftime here in Indy. 14-7, Fort Worth with the lead. As we head to halftime, we'll take a look at the stats at the midway point. Some snapshots from the first half. Gerald, your thoughts on this one so far?
It's been quite the entertaining half, right? You got a lot of defense and actually some flashy offensive plays in terms of in the passing game for both squads, right? I know, Fort Worth had that huge run by Charlie Baker, but other than that, it's been pretty dead in the run game for both sides. You got a lot of sacks, interceptions, and all that stuff. So, I mean, I really do think it's going to come down to whatever defense is able to force more turnovers and actually play better. So this is exactly what we thought this game was going to be in terms of both of these, teams actually fighting for playoff, positioning in terms of, especially like Fort Worth, right? You think that they're leading the division at 6-3, but they can't falter because there's so many teams right behind them. And here you have Indianapolis, who is, a little bit behind their team in Minnesota, but there's a whole log jam after that. They're not completely out of the division at all in terms of actually winning it, especially with them having to play Minnesota down the road. So these teams know what's at stake this week, and it's only week 11 with 3 more weeks to go.
Fort Worth gets the ball to start the second half with their 7-point lead. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Gerald Smith, Ron Haynes, Eddie Gage with us on stats. Cameron Irvine, our producer, back at SFL Studios. Meanwhile, in Tulsa, the Desperados with a 7-point lead over the Alamo City Artillery. Still early in the second quarter over there. The Artillery have 0 first downs and 9 total yards on the first 4 drives, all of which have ended in punts, Gerald.
Where was that offensive output by Alamo City last week?
Oh, salty.
Our fans were more happy to see Greg Soto than their own squad last week.
He did have quite the fancy shirt. J.Z. Bacon rushes back to the line and gets leveled. Marcus Dunhill, 8 of 13, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception in the first half. Stephen Hacker, the biggest benefactor of those yards, with a 59-yard touchdown reception, 2 catches, 79 yards on the day. The rushing game not getting a whole lot going. J.C. Bacon, 11 rushes, 12 yards. Charlie Baker, though, 5 rushes for 50 yards, most of which came on 1 42-yard carry. Dunhill, short pass, well defended, only a gain of 2. 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, and this is where they're going to have to watch out for Cade Stevens, because guess what? This is where he's kind of been popping up when they're looking at, the likes of E.J. Minson, the Cowboy, and the league leader in touchdown receptions in Stephen Hacker. So they got to keep an eye on Cade Stevens here, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do a play action here just to keep Adam Wiseman at bay.
Dunhill under center. Drops back, throws over the middle, and tries to connect with Cade Stevens. Went back to that well again, Gerald. They've gone to Cade Stevens a couple of times on 3rd and long and were able to convert that time. Unsuccessful. 4th down coming up. Shout out to all of you in the chat joining us here live in this one. Got Ernest McCrae, Jeff Duffy, Henry Jones, Minson Mind, Adam Wiseman, Top Kiefer, D. Lloyd TV, and Alex Acosta, who appears to be new, asks if this is a 2K4 or 2K5 mod. It is indeed a 2K4 mod, a custom rendition of that game. And since you're new here to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL, here's football for everybody. You can get off the sideline, start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Just click join the community and you can begin your career or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. Strongly recommend, being new, that you check out our Discord server. You can find it at simulationfl.net. 2nd down and 10 for the Ramblers. Colin Pierce, he went 11 of 15 in the first half, 191 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. Rushing game really not moving at all for Indianapolis. 20 total yards between 3 backs. Passing game's what's been getting it done, Gerald, and get another one complete over the middle to Jeff Banfield, his 3rd reception of the day. That puts him at about 50 yards.
Yeah, and Banfield's able to make the adjustment like wild, kind of midair, turning and being able to catch the ball. The ball was placed in a way that it made it difficult for him to catch, but he's able to pull it in. And I'm interested to see like how it's not that I know they haven't abandoned the run game, but it's just not working.
It's not. No, they're gonna try it again here, and that's just more of the same as Luther Gond envelops the running back. they'll spot him back at the line again, but I'm still telling you, they're getting TFLs on all of these.
Yeah, the 4-time All-Star Luther Gons right there. I mean, when you try to spin back, he's actually good at shedding the blocks and being able to be where he needs to be to bring the opponent down.
Split backs in the backfield, they stay in the block and springs the receiver free as Jeff Banfield's able to get enough for a first down. 10-yard reception on the play, moves the chains for the Ramblers.
Right, and way of Colin Pierce to be able to stick in there despite like the pocket was starting to collapse. Not that it was, but he rushed it out a little bit there and put a little bit too much mustard on it, as they say.
Are you still upset about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't get it. A little spice.
Mustard's good, man.
Put a little bit of spice on it. A little spice,
well,
hot sauce.
Then say that he put spice on it. You don't have to say he put mustard on it.
Know. I guess.
Nice run there, finally getting some rushing yards. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I was saying right at the end of the first half. You get upset about things that nobody should get upset about. Like, it actually upsets you that people say putting some mustard on it.
No,
just let it be, man. Just let it be.
I can't. It's not
well,
in
obviously.
me. It's not in me.
Second down and about 3.5. Ball goes to Tino Sosa. We'll spot him with a 1-yard gain. Running right into the 6'4", 324-pound wall that is Luther Gond. 3rd and 3 coming up.
And this kind of opens up a different kind of a thing here because they haven't run the ball very well. But, you know, if you're looking at 3rd and 3, you think this is a running scenario. But I don't know what they're going to do.
They are going to run it, getting stuck behind the line and tackled for a loss by J.L. Browning. And that will bring this drive to a close. And right in the cusp of field goal range.
Yeah, they are, and they're
going to
punt.
Yeah.
But it's if they could have picked up just a couple of more and not make it that, they end up losing a yard on that one. And
yeah, this would have been about a 52-yard field goal. Top Kiefer's long on the season is 46, so not quite sure they trust him to try one from 52. Cade Stevens, number 16, with the fair catch at the 16. And some stats from the Fort Worth defense, Gerald. Fort Worth Toros linebacker J.L. Browning tonight, 6 tackles, 2 for a loss, 1 sack. The defense for the Toros has just been playing in the Indianapolis backfield all game, whether it's sacks, TFLs, they're doing it all.
Yeah, and it start with them stuff in the run game. I mean, Indianapolis can't do anything in the run game at all. Speaking of TFLs, look at Adam Wiseman showing up.
TFLs and it's having trouble in the running game. J.Z. Bacon not able to get anything going, currently averaging 1 yard per carry in tonight's game. 12 carries, 12 yards.
And that was after his 150-yard output last week.
Yep. He's had a lot of up and down games this season. When they played the Aztecs earlier on this season, the run game in terms of, look at that sack. Derek Jenko flying into the backfield in a 2-yard sack for the Indianapolis defense. When they played the Aztecs, J.Z. Bacon couldn't really get anything going in that game. Instead, Marcus Dunhill took over and got the rushing game going with his legs. But both of these defenses have been playing in the backfield all day, Joe.
Yeah, and that's you have the league-leading tackle for loss person. I call him the office manager, and Adam Wiseman, because he sets up his office in the opponent's backfield. But, you know, they're actually doing this thing right there, right? And look, and now they're forcing this 3rd and long right here.
Play action. Dunhill from the 5, throws, tips, and it's incomplete. Pass is broken up, and 4th down and 12 coming up for Fort Worth.
What a play by the defender to get himself in the way and knock that ball down, because if it wasn't, Stephen Hacker would have pulled that ball in and reset the downs.
A backup free safety playing for Indianapolis. Antoine Sanders still in for Mike Ryan. Have not seen him come back into the game yet.
What was that?
Well, fair catch.
Somebody's hurt.
Another injury. The 3rd injury for Indianapolis tonight as number 24 goes down.
What kind of a might be going down with cramps or something because
They need some more pickle,
I got
pickle juice.
Yeah, pickle juice, orange slices, whatever you want to call it. Give them some wickles, man. I would light
Just
their
eat
hair
the-
on
yeah.
fire if you
Eat
got
the
it.
wickle. Your muscles will feel good. Your throat will be burning. So will your stomach. Eat too many of them wickles.
And you'd be sweating under you.
Yep. We're in Indianapolis. It's chilly up here. They can afford to sweat. So the Ramblers back in control on offense from their own 43.
If Banfield at tight end.
Everybody blitzing.
Oh,
Wide
he's
open.
gone.
Ryan Roosevelt. Watch him walk into the end zone inside the 10, 5. Nope, he'll keep running. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And the broken play on defense allows Indy to capitalize and tie this one back up pending this extra point. 57 yards.
Don't ask me why Fort Worth would hit that zero blitz like that, but they did. And all they had to do was just even lob it up. As long as it got to the receiver, they were going to catch it.
Yep. The
And
only player that got in his way was his own guy.
Yep, and that was probably the worst decision that Fort Worth is probably going to make on the day. They're going to do that again, and here is good old Luther Gahn, 325 pounds of the man. Still no quit in him.
No, when the closest defender to the receiver is Luther Gahn, though, you know it's going to go for 6.
That's a bad thing.
Ryan Roosevelt.
Wow. What a mistake by Fort Worth.
Yeah. Ryan Roosevelt gets the touchdown, his first of the day, and that one with the extra point gets this one all knotted up at 14 apiece, about midway through the third quarter. Fort Worth, they're a Texas team. You know what else is in Texas this year, Gerald? The SFL convention. 2024 SFL convention's headed to South Shore Harbor Resort in League City, Texas, just south of Houston and a few hours south of Fort Worth. It's on July 12th to the 14th, featuring live games, flag football, a golf tournament, alleged tailgating, a pool party, and more. For all the convention details, visit simulationfl.net/news/convention. You can reserve your room, see the event schedule, and more.
Well, I will say, playing flag football with the Commissioner Cameron Irvine, I do not recommend it. He ran me over, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, Brett Solberg does too, man.
Deceivingly so.
He doesn't play
Cameron
around.
Irvine he's a large man, and he's athletic. You wouldn't think so, but he is an athletic man.
Did you just call him fat?
No, he's
just
large.
said
He's like a tall man.
I'm just saying. Words can be misinterpreted, so you just might want to clarify.
No, Cameron knows I love him. He has the best hair in the SFL.
He does have the best hair in the SFL.
Yeah.
Second down and 6. I formation for the Toros. Charlie Baker trying to get another big run going. Adam Wiseman, the office manager, says, no, sir. You'll get 5, and that's it. 3rd and 1.
Charlie Baker sure did thought he was going to have another long run, and Adam Wiseman's like, nah, I got you. And he's got 6 tackles on the day already. And this is a pretty big 3rd down right here for both squads. What?
Marcus Dunhill. Oh, I hate seeing it, but he's doing it again. Dunhill getting it done with his legs.
I feel for Telly Mac Scarborough right here. He had him dead to rights, but he had to cover the guy running out for the ball because he didn't know if Dunhill was going to toss it out there, and he had responsibility. He had to make a choice, and he did. I feel bad for him.
I'm having flashbacks.
But, Adam Wiseman couldn't get over quick enough.
The PTSD is real. Marcus Dunhill getting into Indianapolis territory. Handing the ball off to J.Z. Bacon. And Bacon, Bacon picks up 8. 2nd down and 2.
And Ernest McCray had to bring him down. And Ryan Roosevelt with the yards he's put up so far for the Indianapolis offense. I mean, he had 210-yard game earlier this season.
Dunhill hands it off to Baker. Baker hitting the backfield and brought down in the backfield. Ernest McCray Sr., fresh off the sideline, eating that po' boy, gets the stop, 3rd and 2.
That's what them Southern-made po' boys will do for you. He's going to sit there and get them tackled for losses. What a game he's having.
3rd down and 2 for the Toros from the Indianapolis 41. Dunhill under center. Play action. Rolls out left. Watch for him to run. No, he throws up top and hits the Cowboy. Robert Garrett Jr. getting his first catch of the day. And that's one to move the chains.
Yeah, if the Cowboy decides to make an appearance when everybody forgot about him as we start, we're starting to get toward the end of the 3rd quarter. He comes through with a pretty big catch to kind of reset the downs. And it was in a situation where everybody was expecting them to run right there, but they just play actioned it right there. The whole defense slid that way, and then it found the Cowboy open.
Dunhill with a short drop, throws the Minson over the middle, tips and incomplete. McCray giving Menafield po' boy recipes right now.
Say, look, man, you got to do this. You got to eat it. You got to eat it like this. You got to eat it in quarters.
Sprinkle some buddies on it.
Yep. Get you about a foot long. You got to eat it in quarters at the end of every quarter to keep you nice, fresh.
Yeah.
No condiments on your shrimp po' boy.
No mustard?
None.
Dunhill throws. That one's incomplete as well. Tried to get it to Hacker. This time defended by Jermaine Menafield. 3rd down and 10.
These 3rd downs are becoming. Why do I think these 3rd downs are always huge? I'm probably going to say it for the last quarter and 2 minutes here, because these 3rd downs are huge because the game's been so tight and the defensive, minded game they've been having right here. It's almost like every yard counts right now.
Yeah.
And it's important that they pick up at least half of it to put themselves in field goal range as well.
Amelia Rose warming up on the sideline. Dunhill throws down to the left.
Cade Stevens!
Cade Stevens, the 3rd down machine, sets him up with a 1st and goal.
That guy skied up and grabbed it right out of the air, mossed a couple of guys. Dunhill says, I trust in Cade Stevens on the 3rd downs today. And he jumps up and he takes a shot in the ribs and get his team inside the 10.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Cade Stevens getting it done. Baker stuffed by the not self-proclaimed, by the Gerald-proclaimed office manager. 2nd and goal.
He sure is. He
lost the yard.
Yeah, it's a tackle for loss. Adam Wiseman's just been living back there right now.
Cade Stevens, 3 receptions, all on 3rd downs, 62 yards, converted all the 3rd downs. One of them converted it into a 6-point touchdown. Dunhill under pressure. Everyone coming at him. Nearly picked off. Ernest McCray got his hands on it. So we see some updated stats for Cade Stevens. All 3 of those catches were on 3rd downs.
And this is going to be something right here, too. Here's going to come up a 3rd down. That's been forced by Ernest McCray right there. Bounced it off his shoulder. Almost had a pick there. But now it's 3rd down. It's Cade Stevens is down right here. Let's see what Marcus Dunhill's going to do and what he's going to look for.
I don't know about you, but if I was him, I'd be looking for Cade Stevens. Trips up to the top. Cade Stevens somewhere in that bunch. Dunhill fires that way, and that one is incomplete. Stevens was in the area. I believe he was trying to hit E.J. Minson, and it brings up a 4th down and goal.
Yeah, and what a stop right there on 3rd down by the Ramblers, right? And E.J. Minson had positioning there too, right? He had the height and everything else over everybody. He had a positioning. It just went right through his hands. And if you look at it too, look like Cade Stevens actually had a step. I mean, looking on like a second replay on a second monitor here, Cade Stevens looked like he was kind of open in the back of the end zone there.
Rose kicks it up to reclaim the Fort Worth lead and gets it. 17-14. The Toros back out in front. So now they'll kick it back off to Indianapolis. They've been having quite a day as well. In particular, Ryan Roosevelt He's got 5 receptions for 177 yards. He's got a touchdown on the day. There's been a lot of big receiving performances over 175 yards this season, Gerald. And Roosevelt already has another receiving performance over 175 yards. He had one earlier on this season as well, 210 yards versus Atlanta all the way back on January 12th. That's actually the 6th best receiving performance so far this season. They got Mac Chima, Ivory Irvin, Gabriel Manning 2 times, and Lauren Percoco, all of which have hit 212 plus in a single game.
Oh,
Ryan Roosevelt looking to add on to that total was the intended target there, but pass broken up by Adam Leach, 2nd down.
he had Jared Degon in his lap right before he threw that ball.
Second down and 10, 44 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Pierce to throw. Rolling out to his left. Pressure coming from behind. It is picked off. E.K. Vinson gets the pick and sets the Toros up in prime position to score.
That's not what the Ramblers needed right there. And that's, you got to think about this too. 2 interceptions on the day for Colin Pierce, who's only thrown 6 coming into this week. He's thrown a third of his interceptions today that he's thrown all season coming into this game. So this is it's not what they needed, but their defense had to step up, even though they're able to get a stop. If they can sit here and stop it, either force the turnover themselves or stop and force them to a field goal attempt.
Vinson's second pick of the season. Stephen Hacker immediately capitalizing off of that, getting the first down. Meanwhile, in Tulsa, the Desperados now up 14-0 over Alamo City. That game is at halftime now. Alamo City with only 1 first down on the day. They've also lost Bo Martin Jr. and Willie Bands in their secondary due to injury.
It just doesn't bode well for them going forward either, right? Look, I mean, the injuries on defense has nothing to do with their offense, but I mean, they just got.
That's going to make it hard to win, though.
Oh yeah,
you're already down 2 scores. Your offense
and the
can't get
secondary
anything going
against a Gabriel Manning designed offense. Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
Final seconds of the third quarter ticking away. Last play of the third quarter goes to Jay-Z Bacon. He'll pick up 3, and it'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. 10 minutes remains here in Indianapolis. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. We'll break for league rights.
Of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
And welcome back. We take a look at the injuries for Ryan Eason and Worthen. You can see their injuries listed there. And Mike Ryan out. The 2 backup players, both potential to come back in. Questionable and probable are the official designations, but the most important one on that list, Gerald, Mike Ryan is out for the ball game, and that's certainly a hit to their secondary.
I've elbow tendonitis. Like, isn't that just an achiness, or am I wrong?
I am no doctor. I could ask the Google machine. Let's just take a look at the updated team stats instead. Both teams approaching the 300-yard mark, most of which through the passing game. Indianapolis's running game still not able to get much going. Fort Worth's getting fired up. Oh, look at that. I guess the secondary's not dead yet. Jack Russell gets the pick, and Indianapolis takes over at their own 4.
The Bulldog, Jack Russell, comes through on an overthrown ball, and he was sitting right there, just fell right into his lap. Now he got the ball back. This is exactly what they needed right here.
Sure is. 3rd interception on the season for Jack Russell. Indianapolis backed up deep, but heck, they stopped Fort Worth from scoring points. And we always talk about points off turnovers being such a key factor in the game. Fort Worth getting the pick. E.K. Vinson jumping up and picking off the pass from Colin Pierce, but not able to capitalize anything off of it. Now the best they can hope for is a 3-and-out by Indianapolis to get this ball back with good field position. We'll start with a pitch down to Christian Pierce. He'll gain 3, 2nd down and 7. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and find the perfect track for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Going back to the running game again, Tino Sosa not able to gain anything on it, and a 3rd down and 7 coming up, Gerald. The run game non-existent for Indianapolis.
I almost think they're just throwing. I don't know. They're praying something's good's going to happen here, right? And now they're backed up right here. Now they're kind of forced in a situation where they got to throw the ball to pick up the 7 yards they need.
Keep an eye out for Ryan Roosevelt. Nope, never mind. They're just going to go right back down to the run game, and that's not going to work. Ben Stone gets the tackle after a 2-yard pickup, and that quick 3-and-out that I mentioned comes to fruition as Philip DeField comes onto DeField to punt for the Ramblers. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But it's going to give Fort Worth here after this punt. It's going to give Fort Worth really, really good field position, and I think they're going to get it in Rambler territory here.
Oh, he did. He's lucky he held on to that one. He's got ran over by Melodious Manning. But they do indeed get the ball in Indianapolis territory by about a foot. Marcus Dunhill threw a pick on his last pass. Both quarterbacks 2 picks on the day. They'll go back to the run game themselves. J.Z. Bacon takes the handoff. Gatson takes the tackle. 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and they're playing really good defense. And now it's starting to look like the Indianapolis defense is starting to get a little bit gassed because they're giving up a little bit more yardage on these drives to Fort Worth. So let's see how they're going to fare on this drive. Sack!
Oh, brought down in the backfield for a sack. Robert Cherry getting the 3-yard sack. 3rd down and 11.
Yeah, he's coming right in there, and he just overpowered this guy. He just, and pushed him back, and this guy got a little bit lost after he got off balance. Now it's a 3rd and long.
3rd down and 11. Cade Stevens territory. Where is he? Trips down to the bottom. Stevens in the middle of that. Going that direction, but instead connecting with E.J. Minson for the 1st down.
Now, I really do think right here, I could be wrong, that you might want to take a look at the spot right there where his knee went down. I know he kind of looked like he was there. I would throw a flag and see if we can get a favorable spot, but I don't think he's going to do it.
Doesn't look like it. Yeah, the ball could have come down right before the line, but they'll allow the 1st down. 3-point ball game, 7:24 to go in the game, and sending everybody bottling Bacon up for only a 1-yard gain. Bottled bacon. Wonder if that'd be any good.
Bottled? Why would you want to bottle bacon?
I
don't
packaged. Know. Well, yeah, but if you cook it, then maybe you could just keep some cooked bacon in a bottle.
Yeah, it's called bacon bits.
Ah, yeah. You ever eat bacon bits as a snack? Like just crack open a bar?
Not the fake bacon bits.
No, like
real bacon. The actual
yeah,
real bacon bits.
Yeah. Just eat it with a spoon.
Yeah, those are legit.
You know you're just a bona fide fat guy when you just are eating bacon bits out of a jar with a spoon.
Man, you name any snack, I've sat down and ate it, and way too much of it.
3rd down and 9 from the 38. Play action. Dunhill rolls out right. Fires right. Oh, nearly intercepted. Was trying to get down to Mr. 3rd down. Cade Stevens can't do it. Well defended. Once again by
the backup, right?
Antoine Sanders.
Mike Ryan.
Yeah, Antoine Sanders. He's played well in relief for Mike Ryan.
And they're actually forcing a punt, so they're going to be able to get the ball back now. For their sake, that's just.
Did you see Cade Stevens actually look at? He almost, while he's laying on his back, almost caught that pass.
Yeah, he almost kicked it to himself. All right, this is why would you not catch that?
They're gonna
You have to catch that one.
And somebody just like Superman towards the ball. I don't know, that whole thing was just weird.
No, but at that point, I'm like, look, dude, you fair catch it, and you actually do it. You don't let that drop right there, because no sooner it hits the ground, you can get yourself worse field position there. But he'll catch it at like the 5. I don't understand that. That was a mistake right there.
Adam Wiseman in the chat says that there's a bacon soda. So that's bacon in a bottle right there.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's just my intrusive thoughts. Just they flow.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can just drink liquid bacon.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't.
So sticking to the run game.
I don't know what Joel Harleman was looking at, because he straight threw a no-hitter and was confused and ran around in circles. That was, yeah. And that didn't help out on first down either. You're going backwards.
Second down and 12. From the 12. Pierce changing the play at the line. 2 receivers up top. Offset eye in the backfield. Quick pass by Pearson, a one-handed catch to pick up most of what they needed. Ryan Roosevelt adding on to his big day. And depending on how many more targets go his way, Gerald, he could actually end up passing his season-high 210-yard performance from back in January, currently sitting with about 180-something yards now.
Oh,
Getting stuck in the backfield again. At this point, Gerald, I think if I was the Ramblers, I would say, all right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to try the run game in week 12, not tonight.
I was about to say that. Not again this game, especially at 5 minutes, because they're just playing a field position game right here at this point.
Yeah.
Right? So
not enough time left to not capitalize off your drives.
No.
And capitalize off of it in more than one way. They need to get points, and they need to chew this clock up. But instead, they're kicking it right back to Fort Worth. Fort Worth has an opportunity to really capitalize now. They've got a 3-point lead. If they get a touchdown, that could be a 2-score game.
And this is a penalty. If there's a clipping call, it actually pushes them further back. I do believe it was a clipping call right here against Fort Worth, and it actually pushes them further back. It actually helps out Indianapolis right here. I thought it may have been a face mask because that flag came out right as, he kind of shed a tackle there. Yeah. So this actually helps out Indianapolis a little bit.
Fort Worth all the way to the 30. Look at the total yards so far in the fourth quarter. It's just been a punt fest.
They're getting tired, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
There's
188 yards for Ryan Roosevelt on the day. 91 yards for Stephen Hacker. And J.Z. Bacon adding 3 more onto his day. 33 yards now on 18 carries. They've held Bacon in check. They've pretty much... Both teams have held the running game in check. The only reason that Fort Worth even has 100 yards rushing combined between Baker, Bacon, and Dunhill is due to the 42-yarder that Baker was able to bust off earlier on in the game. Dunhill throws over the middle and a flag on the play, trying to hit it to the Cowboy, and it looks like pass interference. So a free first down for Fort Worth.
I'd like to take another look at it there, because I'm actually curious as to what exactly transpired. It looks like they're calling Adam Wiseman here. Oh yeah, he was just caught on Cade Stevens. Like I guess the ball was going to Cade Stevens. Looked like it was going to Robert Garrett Jim. Look, it's going 2 of them. I'm just throwing it in the middle. Somebody catch it.
I know a receiver's out there somewhere.
But it was a good call by the refs, though. Like, he was sitting there, he's kind of, hand checked him. I had hand checked him in the chest.
Yeah, we've seen some questionable PI calls. We've seen some obvious ones. That definitely falls into the latter category. First down and 10 from the 39. Inside 5 minutes. Going back to Bacon. Bacon with 2. Second down and 8.
Adam Wiseman disagrees. He thought that was a clean...
Well,
look,
typically,
shoulder check to the chest.
That was a totally clean shoulder check. It's tough to agree with a penalty that goes against your team. Even if you look at it after the fact, maybe the next day you watch the game again, you watch that penalty again, and you're like, yeah, all right. But watching it well, the game is still on the line. A 3-point game. I know where he's coming from.
Right.
3rd down and 5.
Giving away free yards, especially when we only give up 14 or 13 this quarter alone.
Dunhill gets the first down, gets into Indianapolis territory, and that was a big one. You talked about earlier, Gerald, how every 3rd down seems big. That one was real big because now with 4 minutes to go and the clock rolling, a fresh set of downs is going to bleed some precious time off the clock, especially if Fort Worth is able to get a touchdown on this drive. 3rd down efficiency, 8 of 15 for Fort Worth. Indianapolis has not had quite that same success.
Yeah, and it was a very good route run and design right there on that last play.
Dunhill to throw, gets it out to Hacker. Hacker breaking tackles, getting another first down. And if Fort Worth plays this right, they'll be able to bring this all the way down to the 2-minute warning without any stoppage of the clock.
Look, and Stephen Hacker is one strong wide receiver. I don't know very often that the first defender to hit him actually brings him down. And he's, for how large he is, his speed is also pretty deceptive, right? For how big he is, it doesn't seem like he'd be a fast guy, but he is as well. So fast, speed and strength is something he's got.
Bacon picks up 4. And we've got a game update from Tulsa. Cameron Irvine back at SFL Studios.
Thank you, Mike. Tulsa is just playing out of their minds the last couple of weeks. Ace Fennick to the back of the end zone, picked off by Travis Arthur. But Alamo City's defense keeping him in it. 17-0 Tulsa. Just didn't put enough mustard on that one, Gerald. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Cam.
I don't know if we're friends anymore. But hey, look, that's what the saying is, so I guess I gotta live with it. I'm just not gonna use it anymore.
Cowboy gets the first down inside the 20-yard line.
Put some Tabasco on it. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna change it somehow.
Tabasco? That's not even a good hot sauce.
Well, what do you want?
Frank's, man. Frank's Red Hot. Don't look at me that way. Frank's is the superior hot sauce. That's not even close. That's not even debatable. Run stuffed right at the line, but ticking down to the 2-minute warning. It is now crucial for Indianapolis to hold Fort Worth to a field goal here or get another turnover. They've already picked off Dunhill twice. But if they keep this on the ground, this one will bring us to the 2-minute warning. Both teams with all 3 timeouts.
But they got to come up and stop the run right here.
Dunhill throws over the middle, gets it to the Cowboy. 3rd down and 2.
It shows you what I know. He threw it. I thought they were going to run it.
Well, took advantage of the fact that I think everybody thought that was going to be a run. 2 minutes to go. 3-point ball game. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Marcus Dunhill, 186 yards over the middle. Fairly even passing to the right and the left. Big 3rd down. Coming up, 4 on the line for Indy. They will run it. Gets the first down easily, and Indianapolis will have to burn their first timeout.
And that's not what they needed right there. They did not need them to convert that first down. So they just got to hope that they don't give up a touchdown. They give up a touchdown, the game is almost essentially over because I don't even know what they're going to be able to do to be able to come back because they haven't been able to put a whole bunch of nothing together in the second half offensively. But it is going to be forced to throw.
A touchdown could be gain. Five on the line for Indy. Dunhill throws back of the end zone. Touchdown, Stephen Hacker.
Just when everybody thinks they're just going to run it out and everything else, what do? They throw almost some sort of a fade route and able to get behind the defender and throw it right to the corner of the end zone. And now they're up. Big.
9-point lead with an extra point pending. And that, I think, will just be too much for the Ramblers to overcome. They've played well in the pass game. Ryan Roosevelt has had some big ones. He's got 188 yards. I expect some passes to be going his way on this upcoming drive. But to score and get the ball back and at least get a field goal to tie it up with 1:53 and only 2 timeouts left, That is a tall hill to climb. Rick Northrup in the chat. Hi, Rick. He says Frank's Red Hot is the boss. I knew I liked Rick. You know, you like Rick for so many reasons, and then right when you think you have no more reasons to like Rick even more, he gives you another one. Look at this. Another great return. Devin Lloyd setting Indy up, you know, in great position to be able to get something going here.
Well, at least it puts them in a shorter field than what you typically would, right? So it puts them there, and they're at, you know, close to midfield. So look, if they can actually score quick, similar to what they had at Jeff Banfield early on, they can. I mean, they can look. They don't have the timeouts really to even kick the ball deep. But I mean, you never know if they can score pretty quick and then get an onside kick afterwards. I think there's still a chance. I mean, it's not over, but in this game, 10 points is a huge lead. The way this game is unfolded.
Pierce throws over the middle. Face mask penalty added on to the end.
That should be 15.
You would think. They'll call it incidental. Watch. Yep. Yeah, ripped his head right off his body, but it's incidental contact. Minute 44 to go. You know what? The one thing that did do for Indianapolis, even if it was incidental, is stop the clock. So free timeout.
That was a free timeout.
And it gave him a first down when it would have just been a second and short. T-Roy Gaines agrees that Franks is great. Love it. Love it. Pass down to Jeff Banfield. Gets the first down. Indy will burn their second timeout. That almost makes up for the tomfoolery he said in the last game.
I don't really use hot sauce in general.
Well, you're missing out.
I'm really not.
You are, though.
No, you can just cook it and cook it with some spice. You don't need to add something. It's almost just as bad as adding steak sauce to whatever you're doing.
Stop it. You take it back.
No, I'm not taking it back.
Colin Pierce throws up top. Yeah, wide open. Devin Lloyd.
Run it back.
Second down and inches. They'll call their final timeout. I agree. I wish they would have just saved that timeout, especially when you, at some point, are going to need a field goal to tie it up potentially. I would have saved that timeout for when I needed it most. Not right there, but it's gone now.
Yeah, but what do you do here, right? Do you get in a situation where, hey, look, you just kick a field goal, you wait till you get maybe fourth down, then kick it?
Yeah.
But you can't leave the clock running too much.
No, it depends on the scenario. Right now, I would keep trying to go for the end zone here. And, like that was...
They had it.
Yeah, me too. Jeff Banfield had his hands on it, but Adam Leach able to jar the ball loose. Third down and inches. Yeah, I think I would take a shot at the end zone here if a shot is open. You know, if somebody runs a route, gets wide open, and you can connect with them in the end zone, I'm going to take that shot. Otherwise, throw this one away, kick the field goal, and then try to get that onside kick, see if you can get that ball back. Pierce up top and nearly throws a pick.
Almost caught it.
Nearly throws a pick twice. J.L. Browning tips it. The ball stayed in the air long enough for Browning to reset his feet and almost pick it off again.
Rick just hurt my heart.
Eric Northrup says, how can you be from Louisiana and not use hot sauce?
I feel it.
No wonder they kicked you up to New York.
I feel it in my chest, Rick.
You got kicked out. Go up to the north.
That hurt my heart.
You're no longer a Southerner. They're going to go for it. Play action.
Wow.
Pierce throws, and it's picked off. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, but it is picked off. J.L. Browning gets the pick. Gerald, that surprises the heck out of me. Why would you do that?
What you should have done, you actually should have lined up and kicked the field goal here and give yourself a chance because your kicker is really good. He can definitely hit it from this range, and then give yourself a chance. That right there, they just decided to be super aggressive, and it just didn't work out. There's many different things that could have. I don't even know if I would have done a rollout pass right there.
That's shocking.
They let themselves down right there. I think you want to give yourself every chance to win.
Yeah, you kick that field goal.
Right. You needed it anyway.
You kick the onside kick. Simple. Yeah, exactly. You would have needed it no matter what. So just take that field goal. And if you are going to go for it on a fourth down and inches, I know the run game's not working. but it is averaging over a yard per carry. You could have gotten that first down. That's interesting. I mean, playing for the win, I guess. In any case,
well, I mean, look, if they
Fort Worth will kneel it down.
they've been quite an aggressive team in those ways as well, right? Most of the season. So maybe they just kind of stuck to it and just stayed aggressive.
Yeah.
On offense right there. But I still think, hey, give yourself a chance, right? Because it's. Who knows? Maybe they went to the sideline and the players convinced them, hey, look, man, let's go for it. We can get it.
Let's go for it. They'll never be expecting it. I certainly wasn't up here in the booth. One more kneel down is all it'll take. Minnesota Legend in the chat says Cholulas for the Max. I got Cholulas on my kitchen table, too. It's sitting right next to the Franks. I got Cholulas. Actually, three types of Cholula. I think I got 3 types of Cholulas. I got 2 types of salsa huichol, the Mexican one.
Yep.
Technically, Cholulas is 2. It's made in Mexico. And a big old bottle of Frank's. Two bottles. All right, I got 2 types of Frank's. I got the wing sauce variant and the regular one. Anywho, 24-14, Fort Worth going to get the win. They're going to extend their lead in the South as we hit the final in this one. Fort Worth gets the win. Gerald, your final thoughts on this game?
It was a grind 'em out game, but Fort Worth's defense is the one that kind of came up with the better end of it all, right? So they actually showed that they are as good as they are, especially stopping the run, even though Indianapolis on the season has, at times were struggling to run the ball. But they were also really good on third down, right? 10 of 16 on third down, too. Only 2 conversions out of 10 for the Ramblers. And that's where it was one of the time of possession that they actually owned as well, with 11 more minutes of holding on to the ball, not allowing, the Ramblers, to kind of get any kind of momentum going. But, Fort Worth took advantage of what was given to them, made the plays when they needed to do it, and now they're actually looking like they're in a pretty much, a really big driver's seat.
They sure are.
For the South Division, while the Ramblers now they're, took a step back, especially with the game opposite of this one in Tulsa, with Tulsa actually winning on that end too. They actually set them a little bit further back, so they got kind of a little bit of a road to get ahead to get themselves in position to make playoffs.
Tulsa currently winning that game about midway through the fourth quarter, 17-3. And, great win by Fort Worth. Fort Worth advances on the season to 7-3. Indianapolis falls to 4-6. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. For Gerald Smith, Ron Haynes, Eddie Gage, Cameron Irvine, and Matt Wilson, who will always be with me in spirit, I'm Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. And Frank's Red Hot. Have a good night, everybody.